Good morning. Good morning, and welcome to our yoga practice. We are settling in, finding our space, preparing for our practice. You can use this time to begin centering, kind of sitting quietly, beginning to be more present, or you can use it for gentle movement or a combo of the two. We probably have another minute or so before we get going. So if there's anything you'd like to incorporate into your practice that you want nearby, now's a great time to grab that. We're just coming into our space, settling in. Getting closer to time. We're going to begin seated, so if you want to head that way, you can. All right, and as we get near the time, we're going to all go ahead and find that nice seated spot. It can be legs crossed, legs stacked, legs out, just somewhere where your sit bones can really connect down to the mat. You can find a nice center. The hands can rest on the knees, in the lap, at your side. Kind of finding that comfortable spot for you. Notice if you're really leaning forward or backward. Find that neutral, letting the spine be long, head over heart. We'll give the toes a little wiggle and then relax them. And then invite that ease up through the legs. Notice if you're holding some tension. Checking in with the hips, the belly. Feel the arms grow a little heavier as the shoulders relax down away from the ears. A little tuck of the chin as we let the crown of the head reach tall. We'll close the eyes or soften the gaze as we deepen the breath. Nice full inhales and exhales. Breathe through the nose. Allow the body to expand and contract with the breath. And as you focus on the breath, notice if the mind is jumping away from the practice. Maybe it's worried about what will come. Maybe it's thinking through things that have already occurred. Maybe it's just got that running to-do list. Those thoughts are elsewhere. Invite them in. Noticing the breath and the body. We'll keep the breath steady as we flutter the eyes open. Take the hands down to the side. We'll inhale the arms up. Reach it tall. Exhale, hands to heart center. Nice big inhale as we reach. Exhale, hands to heart. Once more, nice big inhale. We'll reach tall. We'll pause here. Maybe you interlace the fingers. Really point to the sky. Feel that length through the body. And then exhale, hands to heart. We'll take the left hand down to the mat. We'll inhale the right arm up. Keep that length as you exhale over, opening up the ribs, the side body. As you come into the shape, notice if you start to tense up through the legs. If you do, use that exhale to help you settle them back. Find a little ease. We'll inhale up. Exhale the right hand down. Inhale up the left. Nice long line as we exhale over. That upper arm has a nice bend in it. A little looseness through the wrist. Bottom arm is supporting us. Check in from left hip up through left side body. We'll inhale up. Exhale the left hand down. We'll leave both hands down at our side. Shoulders relaxed, sitting tall. Left ear to left shoulder. We'll drop chin to chest, starting to make a little half circle. And then right ear to right shoulder. We'll drop chin to chest. We'll hold here. And then draw a line with the nose all the way up to the sky. Opening the throat. And bring the gaze back to center. We'll look over the left shoulder and then the right. Back to center. As we bring the hands in front of us, we're going to loosen the wrists a bit here. So stacking one hand on top of the other, we'll begin to rotate them around one another. Try not to touch hands. And if doing it stacked this way isn't serving, you can just do it out to the side as well. Wiggle the fingers a bit here. And then reverse direction. And pause. We'll scrunch the hands together, making little fists, thumbs out. And then spread the fingers wide. Scrunch them back. Spread them wide. Back to a little ease. We'll send the right arm out. Palm is shining away from us. You can take the opposite hand and gently draw those fingers back toward the body if you like. And we'll release. Drop the fingers to the earth. The palm is now toward the body. And again, you can gently press. Very mindful of how the wrist is feeling here. And release. We'll shake it out. Send out the opposite arm. Each arm may be a little different. So check in with it before you make that decision to add a little if you choose to. And as you do, a little tension's all right, but if at any point you feel any pinpointed pain, gently back out. Release and drop the fingers to the earth. Nice stretch through the forearm and the wrist. And release. Give the hands a little wiggle. And then we'll set the legs, right shin in front of left. Legs are tucked in as best we can. We'll sit up tall. Hinge at the hips. Try to keep that length in the spine. As you walk the hands away, Stopping whenever your body tells you to. We're listening to that right hip, if right leg is in front. Try not to lift the hips here. A little ease in the feet and the ankles. We'll walk the hands in as we lift up and swap the legs. Left goes in front of right. We get the sit bones connected. Spine as long as we gently fold. Walking the hands away, helping support us. You can stay on hands. You can drop to forearms if your body is feeling that today. That doesn't cause your hips to come up too much. And our awareness draws to the left hip. We'll walk the hands in as we lift up. Help the legs up and rotate down onto our back body. Set the head and shoulders, spine rests on the mat. Legs are bent. We'll draw both knees in, taking a nice full body hug for a moment. And as we hold the knees here, you can twist the feet, moving the ankles, and spinning them one way and then the other. Loosen that joint. Find stillness with the feet. Give the toes a little scrunch and then spread them wide. And then find ease. We'll hold on to each knee with its respective hand as we start to draw little circles, taking the knees out and away from one another and then gently back together. You can grow these circles a little larger, maybe feeling that massage between the low back and the mat. We'll find stillness and reverse direction. Start small. Gently grow these circles, expanding the movement through our hips. We'll slow it down. Find stillness back at center. We'll give the knees a little squeeze and send both heels up. Soles of the feet shine toward the sky. There can be a little bend at the knee. Hands can be on thighs or down alongside body. And then we'll point the toes. And point and flex. And then we'll find stillness with the feet. Engage the core. We'll lower the right leg, maybe 45 degrees. And draw it up. Lower the left, that 45. Draw it up. We'll lower the right. Maybe you go a little farther, keeping that foot off of the mat. We'll draw it up. And the left. Nice and controlled. Draw it up. Once more, each side. You can lower it as far as you want. Keeping it off the mat and then drawing it back up. Legs are in control. Core is strong. We'll meet with both the feet extended overhead. We'll draw the knees to the chest. Take peace fingers behind the knees. Rock along the length of the spine. and use that momentum to bring us up. We'll rotate over and find ourselves in a nice tabletop. Shoulders over wrist, hips over knees. Long spine. We'll take the hands forward a handprint. Spread the fingers wide, curl the toes. Engage the core and lift the knees. We're just going to hover them a few inches off of the mat. Feeling that engagement through the body. Lower the knees. Take a breath. And this time we'll lift the knees, shift the hips, and come into our down dog, that upside down V shape. You can pedal out the feet here. Lower and lift the heels. Invite in any little movement that feels good for you this morning. Maybe shake the head a little yes and no, left and right. And then find stillness. We'll walk the hands toward the feet and come to forward fold at the back of the mat. Let the upper body hang. Hands can reach to the earth. You could hold opposite elbows to hang in ragdoll. Could use the shins or the thighs for a little extra support. One more breath here. You're holding elbows, release the hands. We'll take a generous bend at the knees, belly to thighs. Find your foundation, and then gently rise up as we come to Tadasana, our solid mountain pose. Stand tall, solid in your foundation. Inhale the arms up. Exhale back to forward fold. Take a breath. Engage the core as you come to half lift, that 7 shape. Hands to shins or thighs. The gaze is at the mat. On an exhale, release. Generous bend at the knees and the hips, belly to thighs. As we root down and rise up. Take a breath at the top. We'll take a step forward with the right foot, maybe 2 to 3 feet, depending on your leg length. The toes are forward, feet are on skis, so we have a solid base. Hands to hips as we stand tall. Square the hips to the short edge of the mat. And then lean forward, only going as far as your body wants as we invite in a nice stretch through the back of the right leg. Both legs stay straight, feet connected to the mat. This can be a great shape to incorporate blocks into as you gently start to work your way lower to the mat. And hold them. You could have tables nearby. Hands can stay at the hips. You can bring them to heart center. You could do airplane arms. Wherever you're at, notice if the hips have shifted. If they have, gently draw them back, keeping them as square to the short edge of the mat as you can. We'll take one more breath here. Generous bend in that front knee as we press up. And then bring the left foot forward. The left foot is now in front, that 2 to 3 feet. Firmly rooted down, toes forward. We stand tall. Long spine as we lean forward. Each side a little different. So move gently, listen to your body. And feel free to play in the shape. Maybe you test those different arm variations. Maybe you gently work your way down. Always in tune with how the body is feeling. Checking in with the back of the left leg. Keeping awareness on your foundation that the feet haven't lifted. Take that generous bend at the left knee. Press up. Bring the right foot to match the left as you find Tadasana somewhere near the front third of your mat. We'll inhale the arms up. Exhale as we forward fold. Take a breath. Inhale, half lift. Exhale as you release. We'll plant the hands, set just the right foot back. Lower that knee as we come into a low lunge. Make any little adjustments you need to keep that bone stack on the left side and to allow the hips to sit low, inviting in a big stretch on the right side. Gaze gently draws forward as you get comfortable in the shape. We'll plant the right hand in the mat in line with the front foot and the back knee. And gently rotate, lifting the left arm up. Try to keep the hips sitting low here. They might have a tendency to lift or to shift really. Gently draw them back. Exhale as you unwind. Plant both hands as you lift off of the right knee. Give a little rock. We'll step the right foot forward and then shift the left one back. So we're just swapping legs. Lower that left knee. Again, make your adjustments. Find that bone stack. Nice spot for the hips to settle in. Return to the breath. Another great shape that you could incorporate blocks into, having them on either side to help lift up a little bit if you like. Awareness on the hips, the front of the left leg, that connection. Keep the body centered. We'll plant the left hand in the mat as we rotate the right, reach it tall. Try to turn through the ribs as best you can. Imagine that open heart, that little lift of the right hand toward the sky. On an exhale, unwind. Plant both hands, lift off of the left knee. We'll step the right foot back, high plank. You can lower to the knees here if you like. With elbows tight to the body, we'll move through chaturanga to the belly. Uncurl the toes. Inhale up to your cobra. Take a breath. Exhale as you release. We'll press hips to heels, child's pose. Toes near one another, knees near one another, or knees wide to the edges of the mat. We'll leave the arms stretched overhead. Inhale up and find your tabletop. We'll take the hands forward, bat a handprint, curl the toes. We're not heading to down dog. We're just going to lift into our plank. Once you find your spot, you can also lower the knees back down if you like. We'll start to shift the hips to the left. That left arm will be our support. We'll draw the right arm up. Side plank. You can have that knee down in the mat. You can move between the two. We're only going to take maybe one more breath here, not long. Core strong. Unwind. Right hand back to the mat. And then shift the hips to the opposite side. That low arm supporting us. Opposite arm reaching to the sky. Again, you can have that knee down. You could have both feet out. Hips lifted off the mat. On an exhale, unwind back to center. This time, shift the hips up and back and that down dog. Nice work. Walk the feet toward the hands. Forward fold. Inhale to half lift. Exhale as you release. Nice big inhale as we draw up. Reach it tall. And exhale, hands to heart center. Take a breath. We'll take the feet out wide to the edges of the mat, setting them at about a 45. So I like to do heels on the mat, toes just off, but if you have long legs, you might go a little wider. If your legs are a little shorter, you might be fully on the mat. We're preparing for a yogi squat. So hands to heart center. Keep the spine long as you gently lower down. Imagine a wall behind you. Just sliding down it, and you can stop at any point. Just lowering the hips. Maybe you come into that full squat. I like to use my elbows here to help gently press on the knees. Deep hip opener. You can come in and out of the shape as you need. Gaze is forward. Breath is steady. We'll gently release as we take hands to mat, lift the hips, heel toe the feet back, and then gently lower down however you like as we find a comfy seated spot somewhere to round out our practice. If you have extra time today, as always, I highly encourage you taking that Shavasana, a moment of stillness and reflection. We'll round out our practice together here today, though. Hands sealed at heart center. I encourage you to take kind thoughts, kind words, kind intentions with you from now until we meet again. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me for our yoga practice this morning. Hope you enjoyed it. I hope you have a wonderful, safe week ahead. And I'll see you back on the mat next Tuesday morning. Bye, everyone.